Welcome back to the Bad Influence Podcast, Fired Up Friday, where we show you how to take control of your life without the bullshit. I'm the bad influence that you need in your life. Yours truly, Jordan Banderas. And like always, sometimes I like to start with a question. And today is no different. And I want to ask you this. Why the hell are you so worried about strangers' opinions when they don't know the blood, the sweat, and the tears you poured into your grind? I know, right? In my honest opinion, enough is enough. Time to claim your destiny. This is the time, this is the moment, this is the day that you decide to claim your destiny. Because here's the thing. Everyone's got an opinion, but no one truly gets your struggle. Oh yes, they're gonna give you their opinion like they know you better than you know yourself. They see your highlight reel, not the countless failures, the late nights, and the heartbreaks behind the scenes. And if you let their judgment steer you, you'll slam the brakes on your own ambition. The moment they mock your dreams, you had two choices: quit or push harder. That split second decision defines your entire future. Quit and you blend into the sea of mediocrity. Push and you forge your own legend. So ask yourself, whose voice am I really listening to? If it's not your own, you're giving away your power. Oh yes, so it's time to reclaim it. When doubt creeps in, counterpunch it with, yes, I can. If you're not already winning, they label you a failure. But success is never overnight. And the reason why people like to do this, the reason why people like to label you a failure as soon as you don't win within or succeed within days, is because they know they can't do it themselves. So you have to understand this. Every setback is a building block, not a sign to stop. Your time to break through is now. So stop justifying your moves. The second you quit explaining and start executing, the game changes. They will think you're crazy. Good. Let them doubt you. Fuel that fire and watch them eat their words. And that, let me tell you, that's going to be the best feeling in the world. One of the problems that I have observed, this has happened for a really long time, it's how society was set up for some fucking reason. Society thinks that if you're not instantly successful, you're doomed. But that's a lie. That's a lie. And one of the things I have seen as well is that this has started to happen probably after social media took off. If you have an Instagram or you consider yourself a businessman, entrepreneur, whatever, if you're not winning, you're failing. That's how people put it out there on social media. But that's bullshit. That's bullshit. And because of that, a lot of people decide not to do anything. They're like, well, this is going to take me 10 years to get to the promised land. Well, I'm not going to do it because that takes too long. Or shit like that, right? But the real killer is sitting on the sidelines, paralyzed by others' opinions. The fear of ridicule, fear of losing approval, fear of stepping outside the norm. Those are fears that we all go through, especially on social media. But guess what? Playing small never built an empire. The only thing you gain from caution is a lifetime of what if. Lost potential isn't just a sad story, it's heartbreak. If you keep shrinking to fit someone else's comfort zone, you'll suffocate your dreams. I've been called unrealistic, a dreamer, even delusional. Every you can turned into watch me. And I did. Because I refused to let their shallow judgments define my ceiling. Every success story has a chapter where the protagonist was labeled nuts. Yes, they did. Edison, nuts. Steve Jobs, nuts. And there's so many examples like that. Every trailblazer called crazy until they changed the world. So wear that badge proudly. People see only your highlight reel, not the grit behind the scenes. They judge from illusions, not facts. That's their ignorance, not your fault. And another thing that I have observed is that most critics are revealing their own failures. Tearing you down is easier than fixing their own mess. Once you see it this way, their words lose power. It's simpler to label success as luck than to admit they could achieve the same if they put in the work. If you let them guilt trip you into smallness, you're handing them your destiny. So next time someone sneers at your ambitions, mentally say this. Just say it inside your head. That's your limit talking, not mine. Depending on how your relationship is with that person, you can even say it out loud. I have done it with one person and that person was like, they were surprised. And it's important to do this because you have to learn how to separate their negativity from your reality. Criticism can be crippling if you see it as gospel, which a lot of people pretty much tell you is like, I know what I'm saying. This is the gospel, almost like. I've heard some bullshit like that. But remember, you define your story. Their skepticism is just a footnote, not the title. So stop letting their illusions sculpt your life. You're not here to coddle their insecurities. You're here to break limits and rewrite rules. I remember when my wife got sick, everyone wrote me off. So many people did that. They laughed at me for saying that I would figure it out. Yes, when my wife lost her job or stopped working because of her illnesses, and we had to literally move in with my in-laws because we lost the place that we were renting. And I was like, I will figure it out. People laughed. People said I was going to leave my wife due to her illness. Yes, they did. They were already preparing us to divorce. But I didn't argue. It pissed me off, yes. But I didn't argue. I worked, kept my head down, grinded, and sure enough, results shut them faster than any debate. Those sleepless nights that I had, those failures, those tears, that's the real storyline. No audience, no applause, just raw perseverance. But guess what happens next? A triumph only you can claim. The day your effort pays off, the laughter turns into applause or dead silence because they're in shock at this point. Either way, you stand tall, unstoppable because you own every scar. Remind yourself this. Critics only see the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the surface is your unstoppable spirit, forged by countless losses, lessons, and leaps of faith. Letting your critics define you robs you of that triumphant moment. Nobody can replicate your drive, your journey, your perspective. They stop when ridiculed. They let gossip stifle progress. They adopt someone else's limitations as their own. They become background noise in the grand scheme of life. They adapt, pivot, and let negativity fuel them. Each taunt is an invitation to prove what they're made of. They understand the only voice that matters is the one in the mirror. So own your scars, your mistakes, and your weirdness. When you accept your flaws, no one can weaponize them against you. That's true freedom. One of the things that you need to do as well, if you decide to take on your journey, is to set digital boundaries. Unfollow toxic people, mute negative circles. Your mental real estate is precious. Guard it with everything you've got. Talk is cheap. Results are priceless. If you're busy executing, you won't have time for self-doubt. So work so hard, your critics ask for your blueprint, not your downfall. You will hear some of your critics say you can't succeed here. Well, great. That's where you can prove them wrong. Each critique is a neon sign pointing to where you can dominate next. No opinion pays your bills or builds your dreams. And I want you to understand that. So you have to rely on self-belief. Every morning, reaffirm your mission. I'm here to achieve, not to appease. You can use that affirmation every morning as soon as your feet touch the floor. Without these strategies, you'll buckle under negativity. Each doubt seeps into your ambition, draining energy that should be fueling your hustle. So wake up and say, I respect my grind. I respect my journey. Others' opinions are irrelevant because they are. Experts in neurolinguistics say repetition rewires your brain for resilience. That's why I have my affirmations. That's why on other videos I tell you affirmations that you can actually repeat yourself every morning or throughout the day, because the more you say it, the more it becomes true. The more you say it, the more your brain starts to feel like it's happening. If you decide to start doing this with your affirmations, great. Another thing that you're going to have to do is to record even the smallest wins. Each one is proof you're on the right path, which is important. So when doubt flares, flip through those pages. It's your personal highlight reel. That's right. It's your personal highlight reel. When you feel like you're about to fall, that you're about to break, just look at everything that you have accomplished up to that moment. I've done this. And it feels amazing. Because it lets you see that no matter the doubts, the self-doubt or external doubt, no matter the critics, no matter what anybody else says, you have already won in other aspects of your life. And you can keep winning because you're a winner. Another thing that you need to do is to remove toxic influences, online and offline. If someone constantly drags you down, they're a dead weight. And this isn't cruelty, it's self-preservation. So surround yourself with doers, not talkers. Because a lot of us have a circle of just talkers. People that just talk. People that don't do the walk. And people that don't do shit for themselves. And that's not the people that you want to be associated with if you want to change your life. If you want success, hang with success-minded people. In that environment, leveling up isn't a dream, it's an expectation. You start to feel like, oh shit, I have to step up because this person has the life I want. And I can learn from this person, so I'm going to do it. And then you start learning new things. You start changing the way that you talk, the way that you dress, the way that you think, the way that you see everything in your life. So if you don't know how to deal with your critics, remind yourself daily. They don't need to get it. I just need to do it. If you wait for approval, you might wait forever. Right now, pick one bold action that scares you. It could be launching a side hustle, reaching out to a mentor, or quitting that toxic job. Don't overthink, just do. Let the critics judge. Let your results roar louder. Let your results say, I am here to win. I don't care about your opinion because your opinion doesn't matter when it's my life. I am in the driver's seat. I am the captain of my ship. I am the CEO of my life. And I'm going to build something great, something that inspires others, not just me, but my wife, my family, my friends. If you have kids, your kids. Right? That's what you need to do. That's what you need to accomplish in life. You need to become that beacon of light for others. But you won't be able to achieve that if you let your critics drown out your ambition. Fill you with self-doubt. Yeah, that's what's going to happen if you listen to your critics. So don't listen to them. Their opinions don't matter. Nobody is going to understand your grind, your ambition, and why you do the things that you want to do unless you explain it to them with such detail that is going to fucking drain you. So you don't have to do that. Just let them talk. Let them. And keep building yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're the one stacking those wins. You're the one stacking that money. You're the one stacking those skills that are going to get you to your promised land. And when everything compounds and finally pays off, you're going to look back and say, see, motherfuckers, I told you I could. And that's it for today. Share this episode with someone craving permission to chase greatness. Let's form a global squad that refuses to shrink under doubt. Enough excuses. Your unstoppable spirit is waiting to be unleashed. Embrace your scars. Trust your grind. And let the haters watch in awe as you blaze your trail. And remember, the choice is yours.